Hello everyone, it's Minute Plus Meditation here, and it is Saturday, July the 13th, Feast of St. Henry. The first reading is taken from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 6. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lofty, and the hem of his robe filled the temple. A little further down, and one called to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. These are the seraphim. The whole earth is full of his glory. The pivots of the thresholds shook at the voice of those who called, and the house filled with smoke. And I said, Woe is me, and I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips. Yet my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. So Isaiah here is having a vision of heaven. And what's important for us, his response, but how does his response relate to our everyday life, or specifically going into a church? Well, he is being admitted into the Holy of Holies, into the inner reaches of heaven. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. Here the seraphim, if we back up, the seraphs were in attendance above him. Each had 6 wings, with two they covered their faces, and so on. So the seraphim are in the presence of God, holy, holy, holy. But you and I are also, this is how it relates to our, especially as Catholics going into a church. Because in our churches, Jesus Christ is actually there, really, truly, and substantially, in the Holy Eucharist. And all too often we go into church in a sort of lackadaisical kind of way. We're distracted, we're all over the place, and we're not really focused on the tabernacle. Jesus is there in the tabernacle. And so we should really try to fix our gaze on Jesus in the tabernacle. I know people are going to notice people in the church and so on, but at least, to try to have that interior gaze on Jesus, who is there for you and for me in the tabernacle. And the church sort of teaches us this when in the Mass itself, just before we begin the Eucharistic prayer, we say this, we grab from Isaiah, Holy, holy, the Sanctus, 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 Dominus Deus Sabaoth. Heaven and earth are full of your glory, Hosanna in the highest, sort of. So the church wants us to realize that this isn't just some prayer, but actually with the Eucharistic prayer, we are entering into the Holy of Holies, that God is coming down on our altar, and we should be at least trying to cultivate the same response to this as the seraphs did, I should say, and are from all eternity. Because they're doing this from all eternity. They were in attendance of him as you and I are in attendance of the Lord. And they're saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. So you and I should really focus on that prayer and say it with great adoration, love, affection, devotion, and so on. So much there for us to focus on. The gospel is loaded, but I'm going to have to try and pick something out of here. There's so many teaching moments. Perhaps I'll focus on this one. Do not fear those who can kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, fear the one who can destroy both body and soul in hell. So, very appropriate for us, for all those who are going into missionary territory that are anti-Christian, but it's also for you and me in a culture that basically doesn't like the Catholic Church, hates Christ, or hates the church because it feels the church is homophobic, or the church is against human life because we won't allow abortion. Isn't that strange? We're against choice. We're against the choice, the decision to kill an unborn infant. That's true. But we experience this all the time, a culture that, pushes back and is actually quite anti-Catholic. Christendom is dead. Our institutions are no longer guided by Judeo-Christian principles. But you and I need to encounter this culture. We need to, on the one hand, be willing to dialogue, but not in a wishy-washy kind of way. We need to be willing to hold fast and stand firm to what we believe. And if there's a default, it's to hold fast to what we believe and not to water down or give away. We cannot give away essential teachings of the church so the world will like us. We don't want the world liking us. So we as Catholics, as Christians, we need to get this through our head. We don't want the world to like us. Maybe people, yes, but to like us is not the right way. To understand and to meet Jesus Christ, that's the goal. It's not to like the church, but it's to meet Jesus Christ, because they will fall in love with him and he will convert their hearts. This is where we need to be aiming. So remember this, when you may be tempted to say nothing or water down the teaching of the church because of your so-called friends, who, if they're condemning the church, are they really your friends if they know you're Catholic? If you speak up, are they going to say, okay, that's your opinion, that's fine? Or are they going to basically attack you, and are they your friends? Like, whose side are we really on? That's something all of us need to ask ourselves. God bless you.